All right, here we are. I think we're I think we're pretty good to go. Yes, I know my camera's jank again. All right, I'm just going to Hey, what's up, Mark? How you doing? I'm just waiting a little bit so we can have a little bit more discussion about this, or at least some people will. And I also have to set up my sheet because I spent like an hour and a half. Hopefully the volume's good, by the way. Um, getting all the secrets of Rebellion Saga down on a sheet I'm not necessarily going to share, so that I wouldn't have to do it later. So that's why the stream was late. We're gonna play Orange Juice probably after. Okay, yeah. I was trying to make it not too loud. How about now? Is it better? Is it too loud now or is it good? Okay, cool. It's just battle preparation music of everybody. Um, so, hope you're doing well. I'm just going to keep doing this. It's annoying. I'm gonna have to like half and half over here. That's better. Uh, Lynn, Jacob. So I want to have a discussion about every unit in this game that we can use because I used a very specific group of people. Plus, we have to figure out the supports that are going through for this and potential promotion paths. Which matters. Because I'm gonna have this on Lunatic. I'm not really gonna have the chance to f around too much. Yeah, I do, but the layout, I'm gonna have a new overlay ready, next Thursday. But it's just because I had to do OT this morning and I was setting this stuff up. I didn't really have time to do it. And yes, I know the Word document is kind of like half and half right now. I'll fix that in a minute as well. Mitri. Actually, um I'm gonna exclude everybody else who would show like Bowdymon and stuff because like I'm not gonna deal with them at all. I have to leave a little bit of suspense too, because there's certain hidden characters that aren't exactly obvious. But I don't want to spoil who they are until we get them. Okay, I think we have pretty much everybody on the list here. That would be of value. Yeah, it's all the series prep music. Hey! Yeah, the packing it's getting there, you know? Like, I've packed almost everything that matters. But yeah. I still have a couple of things left. I've got my bathroom, or parts of my bathroom, parts of my kitchen, and that's it. Yeah, I get that. You know, I have to oh, sweet, that's hilarious. Oh, that's really funny. Sorry. I just was notified that I apparently have enough clout in the streaming community that I could be sponsored by HelloFresh. I'm not gonna do it, but I could. I'm working up to that Raid Shadow Legends level, you know? Yeah, but no, I'm not doing that. I'm too lazy to do these things. I mean, it's still more than nothing, but I'm still kind of like, nah, not right now. Do you really want me to be like, welcome to the Rebellion Saga All Scrolls Lunatic run, sponsored by HelloFresh, every day, and then run 50 ads for HelloFresh, watching me microwave HelloFresh? Because I could do that. Yeah, I have most of mine in boxes that I'm gonna carry myself. But like, I have some of my less important video games packed up. Like, the PS5 and stuff, I'm gonna hold that like it's a freaking vase or whatever. Yeah, I mean, we'll start probably in about like 5 minutes or so, regardless. Because I do want to get this done in an hour or so, and there's going to be interesting things that we have to consider. But first we have to kind of nail down the units we're going to use. I believe we're probably going to select at most 16, but with a preference on like 12. Because I'm pretty sure most of this game, like, there might be times when you can deploy more than this, but yeah, I get you. But like, if we have too many units, it'll be hard to raise them. Because keep in mind, like, there are some decisions we have to make quickly in this if we want to be able to get every rally and every scroll and do everything we want to do. And I want to get every rally possible, which is going to make things interesting and difficult to try and do at the same time. It's gonna be interesting, but it's not really that difficult. Because, like, I can list you... I know, right? I can list you, like, the requirements for each one. So, like, in the first chapter, the first scroll is the bottom right village. You visit it, you get one. In chapter 2, If you go to the graveyard tile on near the village in the top right before turn 5, because a thief will steal it, you get one. Chapter 3B, which, by the way, we're going the B routes this time. So we're going to enjoy those chapters we didn't play the first time around, and that's going to be great and terrible for us at the same time. Absolute trash compactor. 3B, visit the church beside the tombstone in the bottom left. Chapter 4 is the hardest one, because if you remember, that's the one with Alistair, where he murders the Steel Knights, so we have to kill all 4 of those archer bosses, and then we have to kill that boss before General Stryker gets killed. Last time we weren't able to get that scroll. It's the only scroll we missed in the game, because we were 1 turn too short. But here's where it gets worse. On Lunatic mode, Alistair shows up on turn 2, whereas he shows up on turn 3 in hard. So we have 1 less turn to do all of this, which is why it's super important that we have a plan for certain units before we get there. Because we need to make a lot of ground up. And the other thing we have to do, which we'll get into in a bit, is we need to have Yvonne. If we're using Yvonne, we have to have her talk to her mom, Harriet, before she escapes on turn 8. And then, so we have to get her there. And she also has to be promoted by the time we get there. So there's a lot of things that we gotta do for this to work. Anyway. I know. Chapter 5. It's the one with, like, the zombie monsters. That one, we just have to go hit a certain thing. Samson, calm down. Chapter 6, Part 2. We have to visit the top right village for the Ancestor Scroll. Chapter 7, we have to kill Aloria in the, chapter with what's-his-face in the statues. Chapter 7, Part 2, the Baudimon one. Baudimon has to visit the top right village without getting detected by the bosses. That's the stealth one. And Chapter 8, we have to beat Aurelian if we have all the 8 other scrolls to get it from him. So it's not really that hard to do. It's mainly the one from Chapter 4 that's going to be the problem for us. Like, we're going to have some issues there. But we're going to do what we can. And that's why certain characters need to be kind of prepped and ready to go. So we're probably going to start seriously considering some things now, because I've had some time while I was, like, looking at all the secrets and stuff. I was thinking about some of the characters I really wanted to use, and some that made sense. So let's begin with that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to list every character. We're going to list every character we want. So, sorry if this is weird looking, but, So, we're going to start with Gideon. Obviously, we're taking Gideon because we have to, because he's the main guy. Okay, so Gideon is a yes. 100%. We have to take Gideon. Next is Helios. We are absolutely taking Helios and Alanora, and they are supporting with each other. There is no questions allowed here. I refuse to consider any other options. These are the 3 units we have to bring with us. Because Helios and Alanora, Helios is the best unit for me. Though I think the scroll we got early on kind of played a role in that, because all the scrolls are random. We just happened to get the one that worked best with him. Now, we're going to get into promotions and supports later, but Helios and Alanora are going to be in it. And Alanora is going to promote to a flyer, and we're going to do it the quickest we possibly can, specifically for Chapter 4. Because we need her to be able to fly and have high speed by the time we get to that chapter in order to kill things fast enough. Because we can't rely on Galahad or other people. Yo, Flame Stagger, we just started. So, as I was saying, like, Gideon, Helios, and Alanora are coming. Helios and Alanora are going to be A-supporting with each other, and our preference is we need to get Alanora as close to promotion as possible, as quickly as possible. I don't know if we can promote before Chapter 4, but I think we probably can. If that's the case, then yeah. Yes, Helios and Alanora are required. Now, what Helios promotes into is going to be a bit of a conversation. Because Hero is still my favorite, but I kind of want to give him something else. But his other ones don't really interest me that much unless they get some kind of hidden ability. Because, like, movement for him is always going to be a thing. Yeah. So, like, I mean, Boots would help that. But, you know. So, yeah, Alanora is going to be promoted to a flyer as quickly as possible. I also have a plan that I'm going to give her Bowbreaker, I think. Like, what I want to do with her... I'm thinking is we give her as much experience as we can, get her promoted as quickly as possible, and give her Bowbreaker so that she can fly around and archers won't be able to kill her very easily because she's so fast. That way, when she gets her Regalia near the end of the game and she gets the speed boost, archers just won't have anything. Yeah, so we're gonna have to think about Helios here. Anyway, Callum, I don't really like Callum. Like, I think I'm going to need to bring him on some maps for specific things if Yvonne is coming. But essentially, like, he is more useful for the things that happen because he's there, not because he's that great of a unit, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. And we got that ability that, like, lowered... skill by 10 or whatever it was for him, but that was luck based, and that's the only reason he really had a use. We capped him and he was not very good. So early game for recruits, but not a battle unit. Okay, Ragnar is the next one. So Ragnar could be good. I don't really want to use him, though. Except to do a very specific thing that Flame probably knows. Flame probably knows why I need to use him early on. Because I'm getting that character. But we're not going to spoil for people who don't know. But in order to get that character that we're going to get, yeah, we need to have Ragnar do some things. Because... and no, I'm not doing the devil version of it. I don't want to die, and I don't hate myself. Let's just say that there's a chapter where you do something specific that you wouldn't think about, and it gets you a character later on in the game who's pretty freaking good. So Ragnar is early game for events, but not a long-term fighter. Hey, Cannon. Yep, it's time. We're doing our planning. Welcome. Okay, Rosalina. Now, Rosalina's an interesting one, because I think in my playthrough of the game, she kind of screwed me over. In a really bad way. And I'm going to explain why. Because when Rosalina joins you, she joins as a random Cav class. She doesn't join as a bow Cav. That's just a 1 in 4 chance that it happens. And it happens to be her worst damn class for early game because it's just not good for her. I did? She's the best? I feel like she's the worst in that instance. Well, yeah, for late game it's the best, but early on it's not. And that really kind of hurt us, I think. True, it does have Canto Plus. So, like... It really depends what she starts as, honestly. And even then, it's like... yeah, it really depends on what she is. Depends on starting class, but probably not. Because I also want to use some characters that we didn't use before, right? Garant. Fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck no. No atrocities allowed. We're not doing atrocities. Okay? I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing this. Okay, I'm not murdering children. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna use him. I mean, I could use him for not atrocities. So I'll say maybe, okay? Maybe no atrocities allowed. Alright? If you guys can convince me that Garand is the one we're using, that's fine, but I'm not going to atrocity him. That's the best I can offer. Oh yeah, when we do that run, we might use him, but I still don't know if I'm going to use atrocities. Okay, Madeline is next. What do we think of Madeline? Because, like, this is the first real conversation where I'm not really sure about her. Because, like, for me, she started out okay, and then she just ended up being mid. Like, I mean, when she promotes, she gets staves, and a flying staff user is pretty good. She might have other promotion lines, too. But, like, ow. You know? I feel like, because here's the thing. Yeah, Madeline's really good, but the problem is she doesn't get magic. So I'm going to put maybe here. Now, Jacob, yes. I want to bring Jacob. So I want to use him this time because I have a feeling that his promotion is into a mage knight like Sean, right? Like, it would make sense if he has the class that Sean gets, where he becomes a sword user and a magic user. But he may get, like, some weird extra skill I don't know. I kind of want to see, because, like, he can also... There's also a certain events that he can do, where he'll get certain rings and things. So, like, I'm going to use Jacob. But that means Madeline may be required, but it really depends on the supports we can do. Because, like, Sham's not going to be there, right? So, is he going to cheat on him, or hang out with a lady and become buddies? I don't know. Okay, Aubrey is next. Yes, Aubrey is 100% yes. And interestingly enough, we already know what her support has to be, because let's just say her getting a peck shots and lethality is dependent on a very weird fucking support that she gets that we didn't do last time. And it'll also make the game more interesting if we use this character and promote him, because he has some unique abilities himself that I think... Plus, remember, we're going the B route, so we're not going to get Captain Bill. Like, Captain Bill is never going to show up for us. Yep. Okay, Drago. What are we thinking about Drago here? And I'm any version of him. The one where you drown him in the ocean and he loses his horse. The one where he somehow gets an A support with Madeline and promotes to a Wyvern Knight but costs you more money. Or the version where he's a spearman. I mean, he's an extra unit you can use. Like an extra promotion unit. Yeah. Here's the thing, though. If him and Madeline get an A support, he becomes a Wyvern Knight, but he costs like double to bring into battle, which is hilarious. But yuck. Yeah, sure. Give me the honest opinion on him. But we also need to have the money to recruit this bum, you know, which is the problem. Like, he's an axe user. Like, if you gave him the skill ring, you know, and he could kill a bunch of stuff, and he was really strong, he would pay for himself theoretically. But the problem is that, like, he's taking experience that other units are always going to need. Because, like, what's the best result for him? A Great Knight? Or, like, a Wyvern Lord or something? If you bring Madeline just for him, you have to baby him so hard. And you'd have to invest a ton, and then lose all your experience with him. And it's not like the game is super long either. So, I don't think so. I'm going to say no. It doesn't really make sense to bring him. Walter. Walter is our next buddy. You know, Walter is a yes. He is the one I was talking about, by the way. Walter with Aubrey gives lethality and peck shots. He also promotes into a flying balloon man, and who can fire bombs at people. So, we didn't use him last time. I'm not sure. How do we get experience for Walter? He can fight, right? Yeah, he has a really shitty weapon, though. So, like, we're gonna have to do a lot of work. Yeah. If he promotes into a hot air balloon guy, and if you do stuff in the crazy zombie chapter, he can throw bombs at people. So, like, if we can get him as a balloon unit, that would be great. I'm not saying we'll be able to do it, though. You know? But, like, at the very least, he needs to be deployed for Aubrey to get lethality and peck shots. Okay, now we're going to Reynard, Celeste, and Quentin. The 3 knight whoever's. I'm saying no to all 3 of them. Just because, like, we get a rally by not bringing any of them. And by the time we would get them later, they wouldn't be that great anyway. Like, we would have better options. So, like, I'm going to say no to Reynard, Celeste, and Quentin. Yeah, I know, right? I don't know if anyone has any counters to those 3. You know? I don't really see one. You know, honestly, they're all kind of shit. But you can give me the counter, sure. Because, like, this is why we're having this conversation, right? And I don't have a problem with using them when we have more deployment slots, but in terms of priority levels, these 3 don't really... Like, if I had to have a 12-man squad, that's fair. So, like, I feel like these units would be, like, backups if I had extra slots for the non-critical units, where I had to do something with them. So, alright, possible backup deploy. And Celeste, possible backup deploy. Yeah. So these 2 are like possible utilities. So Yvonne, okay. So I want to use Yvonne because I want to get her promotion. And I think if you do everything you're supposed to do with her the right way, she becomes a powerhouse who can use Gale Shot, which gives you Gale Force. I think she's better than Callum. I think the skills that she gets are nuts. And I think that she's just really, really strong. So I want to use her. I understand that means we're gonna have to get her promoted in 3B when we get her. And we're gonna have to be prepped for what's going on, but it's going to be like a big freaking ugh. Yep, I agree. That's what I was thinking too. Last time we got her to like level 8, but because here's the thing I want to do, right? And I was thinking about this. In addition to having what's her face? Eleonora have bow, like the bow dodging skill early on, so she can be a flyer in chapter 4 and avoid arrows. I want Yvonne to promote at the end of the chapter so that she can talk to her mom, get the skill. Yeah. Yeah, but she will pay off. And there's certain things we can do that will help her. There's also a lot more flying units, technically, in 3B if I were to trigger the alarm. Because there's an alarm component. So if I really wanted to, I could do that. I might just weaken and do a lot of training specifically while moving. It might just be a requirement that we're going to have to do this. So it's going to make it very hard. But we have to get her to level 10. Yeah, so we have to prioritize her. And what I'm going to do, because remember in chapter 4, that's the scroll we couldn't get last time because we were too slow. We need to do all that stuff so that we can get the rally that gives us 25 experience every time we use it, so that when we get to the next chapter where we're inside, you get like 5 chances to use rallies. I want to use that EXP rally every freaking time I can until the last time to get a free level on every unit. That's what I want to do. Because I think levels at that point will be very valuable, and it's just a free level for us. Because, like, you know, we're fighting, like, dead enemies that are easy until we get to the Titan, you know? And we have to kill him at a certain speed to get something anyway, so, you know. Yeah. So, Yvonne is a yes. We are going to use her because she is just really good. Nathaniel. Okay? Nathaniel, I feel like he's kind of... I mean, he gets the ending thingy, but he's kind of shit. You know, like, if he's around you, then all of your other units get dangerously bad. But he is a healer who can use dark magic. You know. So, I mean, I feel like I need someone to talk me into using him. I mean, we're not doing, you know, I feel like, you know, I don't, like, yeah. So, oh, you're right. Yeah, so no doesn't exist. Okay, Bert. Biggest conversation. I'll use Bert. I mean, I'll use him on the chapter I get him to walk into a corner where he won't get hit by anything. I'll probably talk to him during one of the X chapters when all my experience things are done. But otherwise, I don't know. Bert seems like a meme character who has a secret. Yeah, so no Bert. No Berts. Okay, Captain Bill doesn't exist. Sadly, Captain Bill does not exist in this. Alright, Dimitri. How do we feel about Dimitri? As an option for Baudimont. You know? I'm gonna say no. I don't like him. Like, we already used him last time, so no. Alright, so now we have Nalani, which is somebody that we wouldn't have seen last time. This is the 3B unit. It's basically a beast folk with... It's like a mystic. So it's like the magical centaur. I really want to use her and showcase her. So we're going to use Nalani. She also may be able to use the Ash Cleaver. But I don't know if she, when promoted, if she can do that. What do we have? Okay, what do we need to know about her? Another centaur later in the game. If you get her and try to get him, the game will glitch out. What's the other one's name again? What's the other centaur? I forgot his name. Okay, so we'll ignore Tarek. Alright, Alan. So, Alan is another specific character that you get by doing 3B. So what he does, he's basically a monk. He's like a light monk, you know? And I've never used him, so I don't really know if he has value or not. But he's not really, like, a priority for me. But at the same time, he can go with Baudimont, I think. And I think I might choose him for that. Yes, go with Baudimont. We also would get... we also would get a magic powder for sending him. Okay, Galahad. What do we think of Galahad? Last time we thought about him, he has really good growths, and if you train him a lot, then it seems like he'd become very powerful. But he would also require a lot of that experience that we may want other people to have. He does get Korra Scare, though. Yeah. So, let's say yes. We're going to use Galahad. Okay, Astrid. Astrid is someone I'm interested in using. Like, honestly, I kind of want to use Astrid. Just because, like, I think she can be really good. You know? So, like, yeah. Yeah, she's the shaman. She's the one who shows up in the Viking stuff in Rebellion, in Andorran Saga. But yeah. I feel like she would have... she has potential to be good. And dark magic is kind of rare if you're not using Nathaniel. So I kind of want to use her. Okay. What's our issue we'll have to think about? Huh. Okay. I mean, we could just send Dimitri over there, and who gives a fuck about him, right? Because it's not like we care. We could just have Dimitri hang out on the sidelines and fart. You know? Send to Baudimon. Sorry. Okay. I'll say probably. Okay, Thorn. Thorn is the next one. I'm trying to figure out who Thorn is, because I forgot. Oh, Thorn, not applicable. Because he's only around if you don't have Aubrey. Not exist. Or doesn't exist. Yeah, he's like the backup if you don't recruit Aubrey. But, like, why wouldn't we recruit Aubrey? That's insane. Ellen. I feel like we have to bring Ellen. Because she's a dancer. And dancers are so fucking rare in this game. That's funny. I mean, but we're not dealing with that yet. So Ellen we have to bring. Because she's a dancer. Olga. I don't really see the need... Like, we tried to make Olga work before with the Ash Cleaver, right? But, like, because we're bringing along Nalani, and she may be able to use an axe when she promotes, I don't know. Like, I kind of don't really see the value in Olga. I mean, she's a strong enough unit by herself, but, like, I wouldn't prioritize raising her. Because, like, yeah... Her res is so bad. Like, you guys remember, she got destroyed by anything with magic. And we want to showcase other units. So, no. We're not bringing her. Henriette. The next one. Sorry. Henriette. So, I believe Henriette is... Yeah, so Henriette is like the... She's actually pretty good. Yeah, she always seemed like she was pretty decent. Maybe. Okay, Rachel. I don't want to use... Rachel's a healer who's decent. And I need her for a specific support conversation with a questionable character. Or at least a conversation. She also gives a hammer, and if we take her from Baudimon's group back down. Right? So I kind of want her, but only for the hammer. Use for hammer with Baudi and convo with that. Alright, Tarek. No, cuz glitch. Lol. Penelope? Yes. Her and Gideon is just a great support combo. And she's a healer, and she can use magic, and she's broken. When she's with Gideon, he's unhittable almost. So I want to bring Penelope. Robert? No. Well, we're going to use Robert in Andorran Saga when we go the third route, but we're not using Robert. He's good, but he's just... I mean, I could use him as a backup, but whatever. Randall and Kestra. Randall, I want to bring Randall again. And I want to bring Kestra, but mainly for weapons Swords and Randall Love. Okay, so like, yeah, our Randall was decent. Here's the thing I didn't know last time though. If you get an A support with Kestra, Randall can use her sword. I didn't know that. I didn't even try it. But apparently he can. When he gets swords to a high enough level, he can use her sword. Which is, and he can also use Hellblazer, but let's be real, he's never using the fucking Hellblazer. His magic is so shit, I would have to, like, do a meme build just so he could use it, and Helios is the one who needs that fucking sword. Yeah, exactly. Like, Helios, this is Helios Saga. Like, I don't know what to tell you. This game is just Helios. He's the hero of this game. You know? And yeah. Helios is so good. He is my favorite unit in this game. He might be one of my favorite Fire Emblem units of all time. Because I've always loved heroes as a class. Even though they always end up mid on everything, they're just so versatile. And like Helios has such a high defense stat. He's just great at everything. And like his supports with Alinor just make him so good. Oh, yeah, I wonder who this is. Question mark man? Are we? Yes, we're using question mark man. So I'm going to give you a hint without spilling the beans. There is a very specific character early in the game where you can do something in a chapter that you've seen before, but there are other ways to do it. And if you do a very specific thing, this character either joins you later in the game as an ally or becomes a very strong boss that will just murder your ass. He is a hero. He will become a hero class. He will get an exclusive weapon, and he will get a skill that makes it so he never loses any durability with that weapon. And his stats are goated. So we are using him, and I will demonstrate how to get him. It is very weird how to do this, and you need Ragnar to do it, by the way. So we're going to do this, and he's going to be a fun time, and we're going to enjoy it. Moriana. We are now at Moriana. Moriana is... I'm trying to remember who all these people are. Moriana, no, I don't give a shit about her. Like, honestly, Moriana, if Alinor is good, Moriana... Like, we won't even get her anyway, because she replaces Alinor if Alinor is shit. You know, so, like, no. And then Ada. So Ada is next. Same idea. It's, like, fine. She's just another of the Pegasus Knights. I don't think so. Penny. For skill in certain utility situations. Like, I would use Penny in the chapters I have to use her, and if I had extra deployment slots, maybe I'd use her for her skill that gives plus 10 skill. But that's what I would do. Valeria. So Valeria is the Healy lady that we get in the statue chapter. I mean, she's a healer. Yeah, but like, I wouldn't use her. No, unless I am so bad I need her. Ash, yes for chapter 10. Just because I need her for the giant meteor blasts, you know? Cyrus, fuck off. Octavia, not in this. Samuel, not in this, I think. Varg, possibly, because in the route we go, we get Varg instead. So when we go to fight Alexander, which is not going to be fun, we'll get Vargas instead, or we'll get Varg instead of Octavia. It depends on what his stats are. Yeah. On chapter, we get him, and if extra slots later. Beatrice. Beatrice, yeah, yes, for final chapter. Yeah, you have 18 slots, so like we have room for these things. Muriel. So Muriel is Okay, so Muriel or Dravenor. This is the one where, like, we kill one of them to recruit the other. We got Muriel last time because Luna was better than Sol. I mean, we could get Dravenor, but honestly, I'm probably not going to use either of them. They're both flyers, so I'm going to get Dravenor this time. Sure. I'm going to get Dravenor this time just cuz. So that's every character that we have selected. So, like, I'm only bolding the ones... Sorry, I'm just going to save this. So, okay, so how many characters do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, so we've got like 14, between 14 and 18 main units here that we're going to use, right? So, yeah, so let's eliminate all of the characters on this that we're not using for sure, or who don't exist. Sorry, Bert. Yeah. Henriette, huh? Well... Yeah, Henriette is a possibility as well, which is why I didn't eliminate her. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So yeah, we have 14 for sure units, and then we've got like 1, 2, 3, yeah, so we've got like between 14 and 17 units. I'm probably gonna take this out. So yeah, like, and keep in mind we need to use some characters to kind of bridge the gap kind of thing. Starts with, we need to figure out when everybody joins too. Yep. But he's not going to be the person we need to soak up most of the experience. Alinora is going to be needed to heavily get a lot early on. Like, I'll need to weaken with Gideon and then kill with her a lot. Because she needs to get a lot of levels early. And Helios, I mean, him too, but, you know, Gideon cannot be the focus. You know, because he's already strong. Sorry, let me just fix these. Because we don't technically start with them, we get them in Chapter 1. Madeline. Chapter 2. Jacob, Chapter 2. Aubrey, we get her in chapter 3, right? No, we get her in chapter 2. But we need like 3,500 gold, right? If we talk with Gideon. Or is it 4,500? I'm gonna say 4,500 to be safe. Yeah. Yeah, 45 with Gideon. Walter? Walter. I always forget fucking Walter. Oh yeah, Walter is chapter 2. Reynard, late. Celeste, late. Yvonne, chapter 3B. Turbo immediately. Dimitri, whenever. Don't care. Milani, chapter 3B. Alan, and I actually don't know. Are you making a 3 houses joke? Galahad. Chapter 4. Astrid. Chapter 4. Ellen. I think it's chapter 6, part 2, right? Henriette. Chapter 6, part 2. Rachel. Chapter 6, part 1. Penelope. Chapter 7, I think. Randall is chapter 6, part 2. Kestra, chapter 6, part 2. Question mark. Chapter 2. Chapter... This will give you hints. Chapter 6, part 2. So everybody keep your eye out in chapter 2 for a character who you might fucking know who this is. Oh, I don't think Canna knows either. Only me and Flame know who it is. But in chapter 2, I'm gonna drop a very big hint on who it is. And no, it's not fucking Fred. Okay? And it's not that kid. Ash, yeah. Chapter 8X or whatever the hell it is. Or 9X. Varg. Chapter 9. I think. And then Beatrice. Chapter 9. So these are all of our units. So I like what we've got. You know, we've got good coverage everywhere. We've got pretty much every class going that matters. We'll be pretty good with a lot of stuff. Alright, next is supports. They are... we'll find out. All I can say is that their final class will be a hero that has an exclusive weapon and an exclusive skill. Alright, first thing we're doing is Gideon plus Penelope. Gideon plus Penelope. That is going for sure. I mean, Gideon, this is just what it's gonna be. Like, we don't have to do any moves. It's pretty much automatic. Okay, and then we have Helios plus Alanora. I don't want to hear all these fucking weird takes about how there's some magically better thing that works for both of them. Just for the plot, I'm doing this, plus I love them together. So, you know, we're doing this. Helios. So, Chapter 2X. Chapter 2X, C. Whoops. And we're just getting it right. We're doing all of this right here. That's 5X. Yeah, 5X. 5X, B. And then I think it's 8X for A. We can have an A and a B support, right? Like, we can have up to a 5. Helios plus Jacob. Chapter 2, C. I think. Well, actually, can we do it like that? Let me just see. Helios and Jacob. Yeah. So 2X. And then 5X. B. And then Alanora plus... Who's our B support gonna be? Let's find out. So Alanora... she can't really do anything. Like, she doesn't really have another... Okay, Callum and Alanora is a possibility. Because it gives her insight. I think that's the only other one she... Well, she could do Nathaniel. She could do Olga to get Khan. But I think it's Chivalry. Yeah. So, yeah. Alanora can go Helios, Callum, Nathaniel, Ada, Olga, and Moriana. Yeah. So, Callum maybe, or Olga, I think. You know? Well, let's see. Alanora with Nathaniel as Waiting Soul. I don't fucking want Wailing Soul. Olga and Alanora gets you survival instincts. That's interesting. Alanora and Ada gets Warding Blow, and all stats +1. Here's the thing about Alanora, right? If she goes with Olga, she gets a lot of con, and she gets a skill. Warding Blow, I think... I don't like Warding Blow because I think it only happens when you attack, right? So it's fine, but at the same time, like, she's gonna have so much avoid by then anyway, it's not really gonna matter. That's the one where you get, like, 30 fucking whatever. You know? You get, like, 30 avoid when you attack or something? Is that the one? Yeah, so I think it's probably Olga, right? Because if we do Olga... Like, we don't, like, we don't have to deploy Olga. Do we have to deploy Olga to move these convos along? Because then I'll have to deploy her for that. Oh, you don't? Okay, so you don't even have to deploy these characters to get them. Okay, so Olga... I think it's Olga then, right? Yeah. Olga, where is that? Eleonora and Olga gives con 2 and resistance 3. It gives her con 2. Olga gets resistance, which actually fixes her problems, but I don't give a shit about that. So, Eleonora plus Olga, chapter 5x C, and then 8x B. If we end up going that way. Because survival instincts gets 10 hit and avoid when unit's HP is below 100. So like it's fine. But it's not required. Like this is something that's nice to have, but if we have to prioritize, I don't care. Okay? What about Gideon? I mean, actually, Gideon doesn't have any other supports except with his horsey. Just give Gideon horsey experience all the time. Okay. So now we're moving on. We've kind of figured out them, so I don't like Yvonne and Callum needs to get to a B. So Yvonne plus Callum. You know, we have to do those. But it's like there isn't a C support for Yvonne and Callum at all. Like it just doesn't exist. So just 5x. And then 8x. Gets Beaufair. Yeah. Callum B chapter 5x B need plus 8x A not required. Okay. So then, do we want Callum to do anything? I mean, I'm not even going to use him. Yeah, we're doing well so far, I think. Like, so Callum, like, other than that, like, he could benefit somebody else. Right? Okay, we've got... Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So far we have two... We have... Yeah, we've got two 2Xs. And the good thing about these is that, like, they're 5Xs. So... You know. But we are going to be in a bit of a weird situation with 5X. Because we're going to have to, like, prioritize what matters more. Anyway, so Callum, so... Ragnar, don't care. Rosalina, I'm just not going to prioritize at all. Madeline... I mean, if I was to use Madeline, what would the options be? Like, Madeline has Ragnar, not using, Jacob, Drago, and Ada. So it would be Jacob. But Jacob can go Helios, Madeline, Quentin, Alan, Olga, and Sham. So he does have a Sham one. Yeah. Yeah, Madeline may be dropped. She might be like a backup utility unit. Hey, what's Jacob and Alan do? Because we already know that Helios is going with Jacob. Jacob and Alan gets Mage Hunter, and Jacob gets Warding Stance. Yeah, so like Warding Stance is an interesting one. I think that gives defense. Plus 7 res when foe initiates battle. That's really fucking good. I mean, Jacob's already a res machine. It would make him even better. So, yeah, I think Jacob is going with Alan. And that's for C support. That's a C support. So... Jacob plus Alan. Chapter what? This is in chapter 5X. This is another 5X, which is problematic. Oh, but he only gets a C support out of it. Like, he can't actually A support. I don't think. Can he? Hey, Freeze, how you doing? Well, Jacob, Madeline, Jacob, Quentin... But, I mean, that's not the end of the world. Because it means that Jacob is a guy who doesn't require extreme supports. So, like, 8X, he doesn't have to do anything, you know? I mean, Jacob and Olga at B support is fine. Jacob and Alan... Actually, no, there is one. Never mind. Jacob and Alan is 8X, and it gives Cheer Up to Jacob and Magic Teacher to Alan. I don't know what those skills do. So let's see. Cheer Up. What does Cheer Up do? Adjacent allies deal 4 more physical damage. That's fucking nuts. That's another really good one. Yeah. And then he gets Magic Teacher. What does Magic Teacher do? Magic Teacher. Oh no, god damn it. I pressed the wrong thing. Magic Teacher. Allies within 3 tiles deal 5+ magic damage. So both of them together improve physical and magical, and it's 5 damage. So like Alan and Jacob together becomes a fucking house that I feel like I really want to prioritize. Yeah. The problem, yeah, and Alan can get a B with Astrid, which gives her light magic, by the way. So Astrid and Alan is another one we're doing, I think. If we can. But we're kind of running out of options here in some instances. Because we're gonna require a lot of things. So Alan and Astrid, when's the first time they can have a thing? I think it's 5X, right? Alan and Astrid is 5x. Chapter 5x, C. And 8x, B. Because Astrid, if she gets a B level with him, she becomes a dark and light magic user, I think. Which is fucking nuts. Okay. So then, Walter, Aubrey. I don't really care about the rest. Walter plus Aubrey. I think Walter and Aubrey can start in 2x. Yeah. Chapter 2x, C. Walter and Bert. Blah. Walter Bert. Yeah, Walter Bert is a possibility. Oh, Aubrey become... Yeah, if Aubrey gets to B, she gets Convoy. Which is interesting. I don't really care about the secondary supports for the others. If somebody's getting an A... Because we're gonna have to, like, share these things, so I feel like primary supports matter more than secondaries, but we can kind of... Like, next Thursday, we may have a quick conversation about, like, promotions and, like, stuff before we start. But we're just kind of getting the basics down over here. So, Yvonne, we already have Nalani. Yeah. So, Nalani. Who can she support with? Nalani can go with Celeste or Tarek, which means no supports for Nalani. Well, I mean... She can... Oh, Nalani gets an E... Gets light magic with a C. And then she gets Holy Aura. Which, when using light magic, unit gains 1 attack and 5 hit, avoid crit. So, I mean, like, this is something we can do. Nalani Celeste, but it's, like, the bottom requirement, you know? Like, Nalani Celeste in 5x. Yeah, it's fine. So Nalani and Celeste is, like, not that important at all. Alan, we already have Alan plus Alan and Jacob and Alan and Astrid to get to double Bs if we can do it. Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's true. Astrid, we've already talked about Astrid, right? Yeah, Galahad, nobody. Galahad equals Forever Alone. Gideon, Spar Love, No, they can fuck during that training where they make all the jokes, but I don't have to spend any points on it. You know? Um... Yeah. We're probably still gonna do that again, by the way. Maybe. It depends. I don't know if I want to waste supports on that. I don't know if we can, actually. Honestly. We might just have to not do it. Ellen equals married to the job. No, does Ellen actually have something good? Well, actually, she's already married. Already married to Robert. So I don't give a shit. I mean, I'm not using her as a battle unit. I'm using her as a dancey unit, right? So, like, what the hell would I even do with that? Oh, they can do, like, a... Oh, what the hell? They need to have, like, bees in everything or something stupid? What the fuck? I could make her into a freaking great knight if she ate bee supports with Drago. What the hell? Why the hell would I do that? Alright. Henriette. Okay, we're almost done for the day, but let's go. Where's Henriette? H. I mean, she's already kind of good. Ellen, Olga, and Valeria. So, like, I mean, plus Ellen if slots, but probably no. Well, I got through every single battle prep. That's crazy. I think she would be what, 5x? Yeah, 5x and 8x, I think. Plus Henriette. If room, chapter 5x, C, 8x, B. Chapter 5x, C, 8x, B. Alright, so we're almost done, I think. So then... Rachel, I don't care. Penelope, don't... I mean... Penelope, which... She's the... Like, it's fine. Randall and Kestra. So, Randall plus Kestra A is the other one. So, like, I kind of need to move that one up. Randall plus Kestra A. Chapter 8x, I think it is. So Randall and Kestra. Randall Kestra. Oh, it does go 8x. Yeah, so they need to have a C in that so that they will magically grow together. Yeah. So it's just 8x. C 9x automatic A rank. Okay. So that's good. So is there anyone else? What about Question Mark Man? I don't think he has supports, right? Does Question Mark Man have supports? I don't believe he does, because he's supposed to be a meme character, kinda. Oh, he does? Oh yeah, he does. He only has it with one guy. Ragnar. He has it with Ragnar. What the fuck? I want to know what he gets. He gets Demolish for a C. If weapon weight is higher than enemies, deals 5 damage. I mean, can I, like, just do it? Like, I don't need to deploy Ragnar, right? So I can just do it. Like, I don't see the problem with this. Well, you know, it'll be like a low priority thing. And this is in what? It's in 8x. Yeah, we are. This is the last thing we're doing. Okay, so just to kind of let's take a look. So how many are we using in 2x? One, two, three, three of them. So three of them in 2x. Well, actually, no, that's not true. Right? One, two, three. Yeah, it's just three. So we're fine for 2x. 5x. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four that are critical. And then the rest of them, like, don't matter as much, right? One, two, three, four. Yeah, four, five. Yeah, so we're fine. We're fine. We qualify for 5x. 8x is where it gets a little bit weird. So let's see. 8x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 of them. That's just problematic. One, but like we don't have to do this one if we don't have to. So let's say we didn't do this one, or let's say we didn't do this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So like we're gonna have to like chop one down on chapter 8x. That's just the nature of it. No, I won't kill anyone off, maybe. But yeah, so we have supports. We know who we're bringing. We know when they join, so we're good. So yeah, we're gonna play 100% orange juice now, just have some fun. But next Thursday, we're gonna start the stream with a little bit more discussion, mainly because we need to figure out how we're promoting certain units. It shouldn't take very long to do because we're just gonna be able to pick between three, and then we should start the run that day. But between the 14 to 18 units, like there's probably only like 7 or 8 units we'll have to discuss, and there's probably going to be one option over others that will make perfect sense. So that's just how we're going to do it. So it should be a pretty quick convo, but right now we're good. I have another document that has all the objectives we need to do to hit all the scrolls and some secret events that give certain bonuses. So we'll be able to follow that. But I obviously am not going to show it to you guys just in case, because I don't want to spoil it for people who don't know the things that we're going to be doing. Plus, you guys are going to have to figure out who question mark character is. And I will name all of the objectives as we start the chapter and things that can happen. So like how we get the rallies, how we get the scrolls, what we need to do, what characters we need to raise to certain levels, and the things that we want to try to do. So yeah, so that's going to be it for this part of the stream today. I think we have a good team set up. I'm very happy about, our discussion. I think we have between 14 and 18 units. We have a good balance. The supports, surprisingly, except for Chapter 8X, kind of work together. To the point where we're going to have enough room to do most of the stuff we're going to have to do. But we are going to have to make some tough calls on 8X. Which is good, because I was worried we were going to have to make tough calls on 5X. But it looks like we're probably not going to have to. And like we could always look up like an extra, like if we have extra room on 2X or 5X, we could always look for some kind of extra supports that they could do at the time. So we'll figure it out. But like we have a good setup for Lunatic All Scrolls, and I think we have a good spread of units that we can use, and we're also taking a look at some units we didn't use before, right? And some that we didn't use in the best light, while also having to bring the 4 or 5 that we have. Yeah, that's another thing. I could just like Gideon talks to his horsey, that's always a good option. But like the other thing we're gonna need to discuss before I stop for today is the skill stores, because there are certain skills that we want for certain characters. Like, as I said, I want the bow breaker, or whatever the one is that lets you avoid bows on Alanora, so that when she promotes, she will not be as weak to arrows for Chapter 4, because I'm going to need her to move. So we're going to see. We're going to see what we do with the skills. We'll kind of have to discuss as we go. Like, I don't think we're going to do, like, a big grandiose thing on this Thursday. I think we'll just do it as we go and figure it out, because like we're gonna have to use the skills on somebody. Sure. We can discuss. Yeah, sure. I mean, that's probably a good idea. Yeah. So we can kind of plan it for then. All right. So I'm gonna be right back. Setting up 100% orange juice, and next Thursday we will have a quick discussion, and then we'll start the run, and we'll see where we go, and hopefully we don't get RNG fucked again. And our Jacob turns out good, and we don't. And Helios is still blessed, So I'll be right back, just setting up. I know. Yeah, I'm going to get RNG fucked. And it's on Lunatic, too, so it's going to be harder. All right, be right back.